Alright, back to Project Nickel and Dime. We got a little bit of ahead of ourselves as far as the video with the engine and the transmission installation. So, got to get back on the Wayback Machine and put a video together for cylinder head installation, oil pump, oil pan, damper, crankshaft damper, power steering, pump, valve covers, intake manifold. We've been busy, got ahead of ourselves, had some product placement to do, so Project Nickel and Dime's coming along pretty good. Got to do the radiator, I'll have a video of that, got to do some electrical, getting really close to finishing that up, and so to check them out. So thanks for listening. Alright, there's a little more information on the cylinder heads. It's an E7TE head, which I believe is a 1987. TE is a truck head. If I correspond that with the casting date for 5J13, I believe it's a 1995 from October the 13th. So that would probably make sense for the Ford engineering aspect of the part numbers. The intake valve is a 1.85, so I believe that would equate to a 190 intake valve. And these heads still have, I don't know if I can turn this around, the Ford factory, what do we got here? The Ford factory Motorcraft spark plugs. So, and it still has the gray paint from the factory. So overall, these heads are pretty darn clean. Spark plugs are appear to be the original ones. So not a lot of wear, and I'm going to replace the freeze plugs on the ends. Really not much corrosion inside the water jacket at all, but I went ahead and picked up some brass ones and I'll drop those in, and then I'll clean the intake gasket surfaces and the exhaust sides as well, and then I'll throw a coat of paint on it. One-inch deep socket. We're going to put the heads on, do a piston to valve clearance check with some silly putty, and hopefully getting that tightened up, and then we'll start with the valve train. Alright, this is your basic everyday silly putty. You can get it at any supermarket, novelty store. Basically what you're going to do is check the piston to valve clearance. This should be stock, shouldn't be a problem, but it's going to be the distance of the valve when it comes up to the piston at top dead center. Alright. Kind of curious to see how we get this here. snug these down. I'm going to shorten one here. Make sure the sleeve fits. Alright. Fulcrum. Make sure that's lined up. Great. Get these started. Push rod. Fulcrum. This one started. On here. The engine is at top dead center. This looks to be a little off. Now I'll do twice around on the crank. And everything's verified. Twice around on the crank. One. Two. I'll back these off. Pull these out. There's my valve. Exhaust even came close, but I need to do a cross section of this, and I do believe it's supposed to be 120 thousandths. Alright, for street applications, the minimum is 120 thousandths for the piston to valve clearance. So what I got to do is I'll cut this and then I'll measure this depth here. Let's check that out. Here's my cross section piece, and this is going to be hard to do. Minimum was 120, 75, so I got plenty of room. Plenty of room on the Play-Doh for the piston to valve clearance. So I can move on and install these heads. Alright, so the piston to valve clearance checked out. I'm going to pull the gaskets off once again. I'm going to clean up this surface with a little bit of lacquer thinner, as well as the head surface, head deck side, and then we'll go from there. Alright, what I'm going to do now is put a little bit of this Right Stuff gasket sealant, just a thin amount around the water passages. For both sides I want a good seal. Now I'm going to run a short bead up here. I like how it sticks to itself, because it's always And goes the head gasket. For front goes to the front. Make sure the duct dowels line up. Come back in again on the top here. And then I'll get my bolts ready. My ARP bolts. I'm going to get these all set up. I'm going to put thread sealant on the threads and some of the supplied lubricant to the back side. In this case, the back side of the head bolt, which will be back here. So I'm going to get these all ready. Sweet. Let's go ahead and get these tightened up. Yourself a good torque wrench. There's 50. Lock it. Alright. 50 foot-pounds for stage 1. Start right here in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There's 1. 2. 7. 8. 10. Goes to 60 pounds. We unlock it. And we roll up to 60 pounds. Lock it. Start in the middle again. 1, 10. Now we go to step 3. Unlock your torque wrench. Step 3 says 65 to 72 pounds. So 65 to 72 pounds for the third step. ARP says 70 foot-pounds with the ultra lubricant. So I'm going to go to 70. That is within factory spec. 65 to 72. So lock it. Start in the center. Hold it. 1, 2, 9, 10. Unlock my wrench. Now I can do the other side. Looking good, looking good. Alright, make sure that the gasket says front, goes to the front of the engine. I went ahead and put a little bit of silicone sealant up here at the top corners, around the water passages. These are Felpro gaskets, they work pretty good, but just to add a little extra insurance, I already cleaned the deck surface. That's my dog. Let's work this around. sure everything lines up. Nice and clean. I'll go ahead and put a little more silicone up here. Just do a real light amount up here, around here. And there's water passages down here. Started here. Gotta add the shims in here first. Speed wrench on those. Where's it go? 5, 6, 10. Be sure to unlock your wrench. Cool. Alright, got it all torqued down. Everything's clean. I know the pistons and piston to valve clearance works. So hopefully tomorrow I'll get some valve train on here.